essentially from start to finish the purpose of doing monitoring and evaluation, and what a full scope monitoring, evaluation, and learning plan looks like. What are the components you're going to need to think through, and how do you implement a monitoring and evaluation and learning plan? So we're going to start by just getting ourselves in the right headspace about what the purpose of monitoring and evaluation is. As someone who is really passionate about monitoring and evaluation and the logical framework and this approach to doing development work, one of the things I find really concerning is there's I think a trend or a tendency for us to view monitoring and evaluation as a function of reporting to our funder. So we see it as something that we do because of our fiduciary relationship with a funder, and so that we can show them, demonstrate to them that we've achieved results with the money that they've invested in the project. The problem with that way of approaching monitoring and evaluation is that you're monitoring and evaluating the project only from the perspective of the funder. And the funder is not on the ground. The funder is not in the community most of the time that you're working in. So it's a really narrow, it gives you a very narrow view of monitoring and evaluation. And it means that you're doing a lot of work that only is going to benefit one stakeholder. So what I prefer to think about is monitoring and evaluation as a process of learning that is not about the funder. The funder getting reports is sort of a secondary or a tertiary goal, but really monitoring and evaluation is about us. It's about answering the question for ourselves and for all the stakeholders that are involved in the project. Have we succeeded? Is our approach actually working? Are we meeting the interests of all of our stakeholders? And in order to do that, we need to embrace monitoring and evaluation as a core part of the project itself, as opposed to something that is adjacent to the project. So monitoring and evaluation then becomes integrated into how we develop and implement and think about the work that we're doing. A strong monitoring and evaluation plan uses monitoring data to inform decision-making around the implementation of the project. So it's not just about learning lessons at the end that you might harness for future work, but it's about learning as you go to make sure that at every step of the way, you're going to maximize the impact of the inputs and energy and effort that you're putting into the project. A good monitoring and evaluation plan also seeks validation, which means that we don't necessarily trust just one indicator or one piece of data to tell us what's happening with the project. So we're going to seek out multiple touch points, multiple ways of seeking information and feedback from our beneficiaries, from our stakeholders in the community, so that we can really develop a full understanding of what's happening with our project and how it's impacting people's lives.